truth that you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison for your mind.
Greetings. Today I want to speak to you on the subject of the two outlooks on life and how Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard, mentor, how he taught Neville Goddard that there are only two outlooks on life, and it's all have to do with the carnal mind and the mind of Christ. In other words, your physical self and your spiritual self. So a person can either live in the realm of the physical self or in the realm of the spiritual self, which is referred to as the Christ mind. Okay, I can live in the carnal mind. Okay, so the carnal mind will keep you in the realm of limitation, but the spiritual mind will teach you that you are limitless. The spiritual mind will teach you that all things are possible to you, and you can become whatever you choose to become in this world if you learn to believe in yourself and you love yourself and you trust the power that is within you to be God in you, and that power is the power of imagining. So the man who is dwelling in that Christ mind or Christ consciousness, he will know that God in man is man's imagination. But the one who is dwelling in the carnal mind or the fleshly mind, he can only see or live from the outside. He doesn't know that the outside is a reflection of that which is within. Okay, so let me just make it a little bit even more simpler for you. Okay, now in this world that we are living, there are only two kinds of people. Forget about the different races that they tell you about. There are just two kinds of people. Okay, the wise and the foolish, the rich and the poor. That's it. And let me show you how simple it is. Okay, the head and the tail. Yet there's only one power. That is why the head and the tail constitutes my entire body, from the crown of my head to the soling of my feet. And what constitutes you as an individual, but you have a master and a slave. Your body is a slave to your mind. So when you choose to live or see life from the carnal mind, the mind of limitation, the fleshly mind, the sensual mind of limitation, you will carry around with you feeling of doubt, condemnation, and judgment, which means you are having the wrong concept of yourself because you do not know who you are. And most people who are religious and who believe that the Bible is literal and that the Bible is secular history, they're living from the carnal mind. They have this carnal, judgmental mentality that is built upon fear and condemnation. And so we see Abdullah taught Neville Goddard how to look inwardly and how to discover what is true Christianity by teaching him how to think wisely when he taught him the two outlook of life and teach him to live in the outlook of the spiritual and not the carnal. And everything that you would ever hear from Neville Goddard lectures, it all going back to the same two outlook on life. And it's all in the Bible. For example, you can read what I'm speaking about here in Romans 8. Around say verses 6, 7 and so on. You read about what he talk about the spiritual mind and the carnal mind or the mind of the flesh and so on. And then you can read it in, I think, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, around verses 16 and so on, and even in chapter 3 also. We're showing you. Now, there is a physical body and there's a spiritual body. Just like how I show you the head and the tail. And even the Bible tells you that you shall be the head and not the tail. You shall be above and not beneath. You shall be the lender and not the borrower. In Deuteronomy 28. And if you take close introspection and you look at your life, you have to be honest with yourself. And if your environment is not reflecting the life that you really want to see, then you are missing the mark. And missing the mark is sin. And there's only one fundamental sin in this world, which is ignorance. That sin is not knowing who you are, and it's equal to ignorance. So you can live your life here in ignorance, or you can live your life where you have escaped the ignorance and come into self-realization. Because real salvation is self-realization. So when you understand more fully what was taught to Neville Goddard by Abdullah, you would see how Abdullah was really showing us that there are systems that have been set up to keep you in the carnal mind, in the fleshly mind, to keep you in limitation. In other words, to keep you in poverty and mediocrity, and to keep you in a perpetual state of mental slavery, having you looking outwardly to a savior, a creator, a redeemer outside of yourself, instead of looking to yourself and realize that God in man is man's imagination. For in St. John 1 and 3, you are told that all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Common sense would teach you that him is not a man 2,000 years ago. That him is just a personification that represents the human imagination. For everything in this world that you behold in the physical realm that you can contact by the five senses, it was first a thought. It was first an idea. It was first imagined. Even the words that I'm speaking to you from my mouth, a word is a thought expressed, and it's an expression of my thought. So my brother, my sisters, what am I really saying to you? I am saying, judge yourself. And if you're not getting the results that you so desire in your life, you have to check your mind to see whether you are living in the carnal mind, or if you're living in the spiritual mind. In other words, if you're living three-dimensionally, or if you're living four-dimensionally. Okay, if you're living third-dimensionally or fourth-dimensionally. Okay, those who are living third-dimensionally, as I would have said, all they just see is this outside world. A world of limitation, the false matrix, the illusionary world, and they believe it to be real. Just as how they take in personification for persons and they're taking history for other glory. That's the world that they live in. So they would all be just two outlook on life. Either you're seeing life from the place of the slave, or you're seeing life from the place of the master. And so Abdullah taught Neville Goddard how to tap into his, masterly self, which is tapping into his imagination. When Neville wanted to travel and he had no work and he had no money. And so Abdullah taught Neville how to live a first-class life by trusting in his imagination. And so he traveled to Barbados first class because he depended upon his imagination, which is God in man. And that is what it really means to live from having the outlook of the spiritual or Christ mind, Christ consciousness. The consciousness of knowing who you are. The consciousness of knowing your power. The consciousness of knowing your purpose. The consciousness or awareness of knowing that you are the operant power. And that you are the Lord and Master of your destiny, and that you can create your reality consciously. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You realize that it is your own thought that's creating your reality, creating your personality. You realize all of these things when you're living from the Christ consciousness, the Christ mind, the spiritual mind. That is why spirituality doesn't base on belief. No. Spirituality is based on what you would have experienced living from the spiritual realm, living from the realm of the unseen. You're living from the realm where you call those things that be not as though they are. You're living from the realm where you shall decree a thing and it shall come to pass. You're living from the realm where you're going to write down the vision and you're going to wait upon the vision. And though it tarries, you're going to continue to wait because you know that it is sure. Habakkuk chapter 2. You're living from the realm where you understand Job chapter 33, verses 14 to 16. And you're going to bed more consciously because you know that your instructions have been sealed when you give your command to your genie, and your command, your wish, is his command. So my brother, my sisters, my encouragement to you is to tap into your higher self, tap into your true self, and live life from the outlook of the Christ mind. Live life from the outlook of the higher mind, your higher self. See life from that angle. Now, we are living in a time where there's so much fear going on in the world, and there's so much fear mongering and so much propaganda that is going on to, distract the people of the mass awakening that's happening on the earth right now. And I'm saying to you, all those who have the outlook on life from the carnal, fleshly self, the limited self, they're the ones who are living in fear and doubt. Instead of they seeing how they can become a greater influence on this planet, how they can utilize their gifts and their talents, how they could become whatever they desire to become, whether they want to become a millionaire or multi-millionaire or a billionaire, or whatever you want to become in this world. Now is the time to think of it and see yourself having and being and doing that which you desire, instead of you looking at what the cheese systems have been used all the time to control the minds of the people. Instead of you focusing on those systems, focus on the inner world, the invisible world. Live from your four-dimensional self. Live from the realm of who you are, because you're a spirit having a human experience. So live from the spirit realm. So, my brother, my sisters, it's always very important for you to know it's all about the two outlook on life. One is the carnal mind and one is the mind of Christ. Okay? Be in control of your Christ mind by first loving yourself, appreciating yourself, believing in yourself. As I always say to people, go before the mirror and tell yourself how much you love yourself. And do not be afraid to condemn the Jesus and Mary story that was fed to you as literal and as secular history. That's where your freedom lies, because you've been brainwashed and deceived from a very young age to hate yourself and to look outside of yourself and to live in the carnal mind. Stop being carnal, because when you're carnal and when you have a carnal mind, you're living in sin, you're living in ignorance, you're living in lack, scarcity, mediocrity. You're bringing curses on your life just because of your own mentality. So my brother, my sisters, it's time for you to wake up and realize that your real identity is your divinity. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to say to you that it's very, very important for you to understand that, the teachings of Neville Goddard, it's all wrapped up in the Bible, and that Neville learned the Bible from Abdullah because Abdullah taught him the Bible along with the Kabbalah. So with the Kabbalah, you'll have a better psychological understanding of the Bible, a better metaphysical understanding of the Bible, or esoteric understanding of the Bible, knowing that, it's all about what is taking place within you, and that all things, resides within your perception, within your imagination, which is God in man. So grab hold of your God self and believe in your God self. Have the right outlook on life. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I can go on and on and on, but I want to come to a close here, and I want to say to you that it's very important for you to see where it is stated in the Bible in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun, a S-U-N, and a shield, and the good thing which he withhold from you. And common sense will teach you that the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity, for the Son is what powers all of humanity and give all of humanity its energy. That's the reason why I always teach you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye, yes, the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And that is why I always say to you that the sun, parallels the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light, and without the human imagination, there is not anything made that was made. So you have to realize that the greatest light has been ever fed to humanity to keep them in a carnal mentality is the Jesus and Mary story. Because how could a S-O-N be the light of the world when a S-O-N can never exist unless there first be the S-U-N? Basic common sense. Also, Malachi 4:2 tells us that the Son, the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise where? Within you. With healing in his wings. So true healing and righteousness comes from discovering your inner self, your true self, discovering the true leader within you, the true commander that is within you. And the commander that is within you is invisible, commanding you, leading you, and guiding you. That's why you have to trust your intuition at all times. That is why, my brother, my sisters, I'm encouraging you to trust your intuition right now. And if you feel led to subscribe, comment, or share this video, do so. And it should be your desire to see this video shared all around the world, and you're going to do your best to share this video. Also, if you feel strongly led to support this work, we have a PayPal and the link is down below. Feel free to do so once you feel strongly led to do so. Also, I want to just remind you that we have a Patreon, and if you want to be a part of the Patreon community, I just want to inform you that we have a lot of good information there that would help you also. And we have a course there also. A lot of videos are there with the inner sun science and technology to create your reality consciously, and the inner sun engineering to create your reality consciously. And it's all about showing you how you must get in alignment with the sun, because the sun is always in purpose, and how to accept the sun that is within you, that light that is within you and even beneath you, and get all connected, get connected to nature and get in alignment with nature, and understand that nature is working within you and want to express itself and the outside of you. And that's what it means to say, when it says, let your light so shine before men that they may behold your good works and glorify the God or the Father that they would have seen within you, the Creator that they would have seen in you, the creative power that they would have seen in you. Because you are creating your reality consciously, and you know results don't tell lies. So my brother, my sister, you really feel strongly led to be a part of this community that, believe in the inner sun, science and technology. It is for people who are donating at least $20 or more. It's available to you. If you feel strongly led to be a part of such community, I will definitely encourage you to be a part of such, because we are living in a time when they want to dim the sun, they want to block out the sun. And right now the sun want to pour out so much energy, so much intelligence, so much wisdom upon us. Within the next 4 years, 6 years, 7 years, okay, they're gonna be so much outpouring at the sun energy, and you have to be of an open mind. You have to open yourself for all of this intelligence to pour out in you. The Akashic record is being poured out right now as the sun becomes even more hotter. Okay, it's more intelligence, and you have to receive it. Okay, and learn to reprogram your subconscious mind. So it's very, 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 very important that you really get this course. Okay, so with that being said, my brother, my sister, I really want to thank you very much. I want to say peace, love you all, have the right outlook and life, stay within your Christ consciousness, believe in yourself, and always remember our ancestors have all been teaching us, man, know thyself. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.